This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hi, good morning all. So let's get started now. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the rule sets and rule delegation. Okay, and so we'll continue with leave request application. Okay, so in the high level, so you know that so each operator so will be associated with some access group, right? And inside the access group, so we have an application and the rule sets. Okay, so that means operator will be able to access the rule sets which are defined in the application. Okay. So operator is associated with an access group, and inside the access group we have an application. That means which user is going to access. Okay, and inside the applications we have the rule sets. So that means this operator is going to access the rule sets which are defined in the application. Okay, that means the operator will be able to create the rules, modify the rules, or delete from those rule sets only. Okay, see now, so these are the rule sets defined, and let's assume that so we have a one new rule set created but not defined here. So can this operator able to access those rules? No, right? So you must need, if you create any rule, new rule set, you must need to define here. Okay, and here, so PNC loans 0101 and patch version is not defined. That means we'll have access for all the patch versions. Okay, so later, let us say you created the next minor version, that is 0102. So you need to change here in the application. Okay, so otherwise so you cannot so access the rules which are in 02. Okay, so these are all called application rule sets. We have so the four types of rule sets available. One is application rule sets. The rule sets which are defined in application called application rule sets. Okay, so this is very important, you need to understand. Okay, so now, so we have a private rule set, or we can also call it the personal rule set. Okay, so this is same like your operator ID. So I have logged into the application with admin@PNC, and so this is my personal rule set. Okay, admin@PNC. So let's say if you log in with let's say PNC dev1, so you will see PNC dev1 here. It is same like operator ID. So and if you observe here, So these are all our application rule sets, correct? And these are all Pega rule sets, and this personal rule set is available on top of the list. Okay, so what does mean? So the rule resolution, right? Let's say so we have a rule in 010101, let's say customer details. Okay, and the same rule is available in 0203, and when you execute a flow, obviously it will pick customer details from 03. But I want to test 01 behavior. So I want to see what are the fields available in 01 in the runtime. Okay, so if we want to make 01 rule to be picked, what we need to do? We already discussed high level rule sets already. So if we want to test 01, so what we will do generally? Online guys. Hello. So let's say by default, which one will be executed? 03. So if you want, test 02 or 01 lower rule set versions, so we need to modify the private edit. Guys, put on mute, please. Okay. So we have an option called private edit, right? So we cannot delete 02, 03. So those rules will be there in their rule set versions. We can we can edit in the private, and so that will be picked always. Now let's say customer details is available in 01, 02, right? So always 02 will be executed, right? So now let's see. So do you see any difference here? So both are locked. So by default 02 will be picked, right? So now, so I want to test 01. So what we can do is, so we open the 01 and we will yeah. So we have to save this into the personal rule set. So whenever you click on private edit, so this rule will be saved into your rule set. Okay. So though we have multiple instances, the multiple rules in the higher versions, so this will be picked always, right? So now see, I'm removing all these fields here just for testing purpose, okay? But these will not be saved into the database permanently, okay? See which one has been picked? The modified one, right? 01. So if you discard it, then see now. So we have discarded the changes, and you still see the existing changes. And if we execute the flow, it will pick obviously from 02. Okay. So like if if you click on the private edit, that rule will be saved into your personal rule set, and that will have more priority. the checked out rule will always will have more priority. Okay, so even let's say the rule sets are in unlocked, the behavior will be same. So when you click on checkout, also that rule will be saved into your personal rule set until and unless you check in the rule. Okay, clear? So here the rule set is locked, so you are seeing the private edit. If the rule set is unlocked, so let me unlock that and see. So now here I am unlocking both 01 and 02. Right? So now you see the checkout and check-in option, checkout option. So when you click on checkout, again the same. So it will be saved into your personal rule set, and when you check in this, then it will be saved into the 01 rule set, the corresponding one. Okay, so now also so this will be picked because it has checked out. Okay, so simply when you click on private edit or checkout, so that will be saved into the personal rule set, and that will be executed always, though we have the rules in higher versions. Any question? So this is about the personal rule set. So in the real-time applications, so you will have to test, so let's say, and the same rule, so multiple people will work on that. So sometimes you need to check the existing behavior. So before, modifications, right? So in that case, so you will edit that and you will do the changes and you will test it. Okay. So now, so we have the branch rule set, the next one. So branch rule sets for the parallel development. So let's say the multiple teams are working on the same application, okay, and so working on different functionalities, right? So if everybody is using the same rule set with the different versions, and let's say some team will save some rule into let's say 010 rule set version, and some other team will take the same rule and save as it into the highest version, right? So but so when you execute a flow, it will pick always from highest version, and so the lowest version rules will not be picked, right? But so always the team who saved into the highest version only will be picked, but not lower versions. So which should not be the case. So all the changes should work properly. So for that, so what we do is, so for each team we'll create a separate rule set, separate branch rule set, so that is branched from original rule set, you know and let's say there are two teams, team A and team B. We'll create two different branch rule sets, and team A will work on the rules, they will implement the functionality in their rule set, and other team will implement the functionality in their own rule set, and later so we will merge all the rules into the original rule set. Okay, so but before that, so we need to make sure all the conflicts are resolved. Okay, so let's say so even while working on the branches, let's say team A taken one rule in the lower rule set version and saved into their branch. Okay, and another team also taken the same rule and saved into their branch. Okay, so but like finally, so both the changes should be included in the same rule, right? So in the customer details, so I added some fields, you added some fields, but both should be merged at some point of time. Okay, so for that, so before merging into the highest version, okay, in the original rule set, so you need to make sure all the conflicts are resolved. Okay, so let's work on this practically. Right, let's in some applications, in most of the applications we use the branch rule sets. So in the application, so you just understand carefully. So here, so we can add the branch rule set. Let's say, so we'll include the two branch rule sets. So one is team A and another is, let's say, team B. Okay, save it. So now when we create a rule, let's say I'm going to create some data transform. Now see, always the here the branch rule sets also will be the shown, right? So let's say this branch rule is this is branched from PNC loans. So let's say so we create so we will save as the rule into the branch later, like so we can merge into the PNC loans rule set later. Okay, so now here you don't see the version, right? So so we are saving this rule into the branch rule set. So later, so we will move it into the PNC loans rule set version. Okay, let's say highest version 010104, something like that. Okay, so now so we are going to create a rule into branch rule set, that is team me. Let's say test branch. Okay, right, so you can, this is the new rule and you can do whatever so you want. Let's say I will assign first name, let's say ABC. Okay, and also you can take from the rule set version and you can save as it into branch. Let's say I want to work on you know I want to modify the customer details section also. Okay, you can save as it into the branch. Okay, and let's say team A, right, and you can save as and you can do whatever the changes you want, right? And similarly, so team B also so who are working on uh, from team B, so they will save as all the rules into their rule set. Okay, their branch rule set, that is team B. Okay, so now later at some point of time, so we need to merge these rule set into the original rule set, right? So now go to the application. So let's say I need to merge team A, okay? And so how many rules are available here? Customer details and test branch, 2 rules in this branch rule set. So go to the actions, merge it, okay? So click on proceed. So we are going to merge branch, or team A rule set into the original, right? So this is the target rule set, okay? So while creating the rule, so we selected PNC loans, so we are able to save it into only the PNC loans, either in any one of the existing version, or you can also create a new version. So we have how many versions available so far? 3 versions, and let's say the new version 4. So these 2 rules will be created into 04, and those will be executed always, right? But let's say at the same time, team B also modified the same rule, right, into team B branch rule set. Okay, and again, they can merge into the highest version. Okay, first we'll see this, right? So you can always create into the highest version, or let's say if you want to save these rules into any one of these rule set. Let's say I am going to save it as into 01. So what happened? So now if you look at this, if we select this option, default one, create a new version, so you see the merge option, right? But like if you select the lower version, so you see the conflicts, because so PNC loans 01, 01, 02, we are trying to, so we are saving customer details and the new rule into 01. Okay, the customer details already available in 02. So a rule with the same keys exists in a higher rule set version, right? But so you are merging it. If you put in the lower rule set version, so that will never pick, right? So it should be always in the higher rule set version. Okay, so a rule with the same keys exists in a higher rule set version. So you need to make sure it should be in either yeah, it should be always in higher version of this, like let's say 03 or 04. So now I'm trying to save as it into 03, and let's look at these conflicts. So now conflicts gone, right? But there is some warning. What is that? So you created a new rule, that is test branch data transform. That is the brand new rule, so you will not have any issue. Okay, and so we created, we saved as the customer details from 02, and we are saving it as into the highest version, so you will not see any issue. But the same rule is available in another branch also. Okay, right? So now, so you can see the changes, and you can talk to the team who are working on you know uh, this branch, and you can resolve the conflicts. Okay, right? So once you discuss with them, like once let's say uh, they're done with their changes, and you take that rule, okay, and into the your branch, and you modify the changes, then you can merge it, okay. So now you cannot merge it because it is there in, yeah, it is there in another yeah, branch, right? So now what we can do is, let's take team B, okay, the merge. Again you will see the same warning, right? Because it is there in another branch. So what you need to do is, so you cannot merge into another branch, right? But still, like here we have an option. Okay, so but you can always save as it into the highest version, okay. Mm, even team B also, team A, right? Okay, let's go to the application. So now team A want to merge this rule customer details, okay, but again you see the conflict, right? A rule in a lower version has been updated more recently than when the checkout was created, okay. So we are trying to save as into 05, okay, so but it is there in 04. So you need to take 04 and save as it into branch, okay, and you do in a higher versions, okay. So now you see the conflict, right? So other team saved as into 04, okay, but before that you have checked out into branch. So you need to understand that, okay. So that means after checkout somebody modified into in the different branch and they saved into the 04, okay. And you see the conflict. So if you make it to 05, but 04 changes will not be picked, right? So that should not be the case because before that some operator saved into that. So now what we can do is take from 04, you delete it from uh, team A branch, or okay, let's try to take it from 05, the customer details. So we have in 05, right? So let's open that rule set. One minute. Yeah, so we have in 05, okay, we haven't created a thing 04, right? Yeah. So it is there in 04, and you take, you know, from 04 and save as it into your branch. Let's say team A. So, but it is already exist, right? So you need to remove it from this branch, okay? So not this one, the team A, okay? So you delete the existing rule and save as, the highest version rule into your branch and do your changes. You need to, retrofit all your existing changes, okay? Now, so you can, merge this rule set into the main rule set, okay? So now go to the application, right? So open the team A, and here we have a one rule, customer details section, and see, you can save as it into 05, the no conflicts, because you have taken it from highest version and moving it. But if you're trying to put in 04, in the 04 also we have same rule, it will be replaced because you took, after saving it into 04, but you cannot put in any lower versions, okay? So but generally it's like we will merge it into the new version always, or the highest version, okay? So let's say if you want to put in 04, you can do that, merge it successfully. But before you are merging into 04, if somebody modified some changes there, then it will not allow, okay? So now let's see. So you can try that, okay? So you modify something in 04, and then you try to save as, you try to merge from branch to the tool set. So then it will not allow, okay? So once you merge, these rules will be deleted automatically, right? See, here we have an option, keep all source rules. Like if you want these rules still in the branch, you can select this option. Otherwise, once it merged, so these rules will be removed, okay? Any question? So this is, how multiple teams work with the functionalities, and later, they can merge into the original rule set by resolving the conflicts. But before merging, so you have to make sure all the conflicts are resolved, okay? So like, somebody modified some changes, so you have to retrofit those changes before merging, okay? Clear? Or any questions online, guys?
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Yeah, okay. So you practice that, like, so you create the branch rule set and save as and try to merge it. You will, you will understand. So it will clearly show, right? So if there are any conflicts, it will show why, the conflicts happen, right? Either, it could be the rule already exists in the lower version, or somebody checked out into highest version before, you modified the changes, like that, right? So you can understand. So this is about the branch rule set we use for parallel development, okay? So multiple teams can work on, the same functionality or different the functionality, and later merge into different the means like original rule set. Okay, so you can't yeah. So now we have the one more type, that is production rule sets. This is for mainly delegation as well as to modify the rules directly in the production. Okay, so before we are moving from one environment to another environment, let's say from dev to testing, right? So we need to lock all the rule sets. We will lock the rule sets and we'll move it. And later, if you want to change, something in the higher environments, the rule set must be in unlocked state if you want to modify some rule, right? So mostly, so we use a production rule set is for delegation purpose. Let's say you designed some decision table to calculate or to determine interest rates, okay, based on the loan type. And later, like if you want to change the interest rate, okay, so what would be the process? The usual process you need to do in the development environment, and you need to by creating a new rule set version, and you need to move to the testing environment, then take the approvals, then move to the production. So it will take a lot of time, right? and it also requires some development effort. Okay, so but the change is very small, just like you are changing the interest rates, right? So what you can do is you can save as those kind of rules into the production rule set, and directly, and you will delegate those rules to the business users, and they will be able to modify those rules into those rules in the production directly. Okay, but like so we provide the demo to the business users, like to whom we delegated these kind of rules, before they start modifying these rules, so that like so they will not make the mistakes. Okay, clear? So mostly we delegate decision table, and in this version we have an option to delegate even decision trees, right? And so we can delegate this correspondence rules and data classes. So mostly we use these rules to delegate. Okay, right? So now let's work on practically. So we use for delegation purpose, right? So to whom we are delegating it? To some operators, obviously, right? So we need to identify, or we need to create the new access group, okay, for this, and whoever is having that access group will be able to modify these rules, right? So we have already access group is available, that is PNC loans managers. We use the same access group for delegation purpose, okay? But you write down the steps for this. The step one is identifying the access group, either by creating or using the existing one. Create or use existing access group. Okay, and so we need to create the rule set also. Create a separate rule set for delegation. Or create a separate rule set called production rule set. So these are all for delegating purpose only, right? Yeah, so we need to create a separate rule set called production rule set. So it's like, how we create normal rule set. And if you invoke that rule set here in the production rule set, so that will become a production rule set. So let's take any rule set and save as, that's it. Okay, so let's say PNC prod. PNC production rule set. This is a browser issue. Okay, I think it has been saved in the background. So now let's include this rule set in both. But we save only production rule sets. Okay, right? So and take the same rule set and invoke in the invoke in this drop down. Okay, this we do in the application. Okay, create a new rule set and call in the application as well as in the production rule set drop down and save it. Okay, here the version is required. Same. Okay, 0101. That means like you will have access for all the patch versions in PNC Pro. So now let's we need to specify the same rule set in the access group which we identified. Okay, so create a separate rule set called production rule set, or what you can write is create a separate rule set and invoke the rule set in application and as well as the production rule set dropdown. Now fourth step is specify the rule set in access group also. So in the interviews, they will ask what are the steps you do for delegation. So you'll be able to explain this. So order is not mandatory. So you just need to explain what are the things required. We just need access group, the rule set. That's it. Okay. So now which access group we are using, that is PNC loans the manager, right? So access group is part of security category. Take PNC loans managers, and in the advanced tab, so we have an option called production rule set. You call the same rule set here also. Okay, so now which rule you want to delegate it? So next, save as the rules you want to delegate into the production rule set. Identify the rules which you want to delegate and save as or create, right, into production rule set. So if we have already rules available, we can save as into those. Or let's say you are creating a brand new rule for delegation purpose. But generally, so we'll initially we create those rules in the different rule sets, because so those already referenced the flow somewhere, right? So you just need to copy those rules into production rule set. Okay. So identify, let's say, decision table. I want to delegate this calculate borrower's risk, right? So later, let's say if you want to change this, so let's say I want to put into 3 or 4, or from 3 to 2, like that, so this is for example, like, so mostly we delegate most of the decision tables. Okay. So now, so the eligible rules for delegation, okay, you will see option called delegate under actions drop down. Click on that. Okay. So identify the access group. So you call, like, so whatever the access group you are using, that is manager. This is for borrower's risk. And you need to, put detailed description, so that, like, they will understand so why this rule is for. Okay. So this is to determine the risk of the borrower, something like that. Okay. So now log in into the application with the manager and see. Sorry, we have to save as first into production rule set, right? So you need to do that. Then you delegate it. Otherwise, that rule will be, in that rule set, and that will be always locked, right? You cannot modify it. Okay. So save as first into the production, then delegate it, and let's say put the manager, determine borrower's risk, and put some description and delegate it. And you can see all the delegated rules in some table. So I will show you later. Let's say manager at the rate of P and C. And so you have to make sure always the production rule set is in unlocked state. Otherwise cannot be modified. Okay. So in the configuration, so we see the delegated rule, right? So all the rules will be displayed in that way. Why it is not? Refresh it. you should see checkout and check-in option, right? Otherwise user cannot modify it. What is this option? Why it is locked? Okay, so manager doesn't have checkout enabled, right? So what you need to do is go to the manager operator. For operator, in the operator profile, we have a checkout option that has to be enabled always. Okay, so that also you need to take care. Let us say, so operators are part of organization, and this is PNC manager, right? Where is that? This one. So go to the work tab. Not sorry, in the security tab. So we have an option called allow rule checkout, and you need to enable it, right? So now just refresh it. Or re-log in into the application. What is that? Manager @ PNC. Right, so now you see checkout option. So you need to click on checkout and do the changes and check in back. Okay, so how you normally work on the rule. Okay, any questions regarding the delegation process? Okay, so these are very important to understand the application, or even for interviews also. So what are the types of rule sets, and explain about them. So you should be able to explain about all this. Okay, and so we have one more option. It's important. So if you look at the rule set, the validation mode, right? So we have a application validation as well as the rule set validation. So like these days, like uh, we are using, for most of the rule sets we use application validation only. Okay, so if the validation mode is application validation, so that means, let's say PNC loans, right? The PNC loans rule set is which mode is selected? Application validation. Okay, so that means this, let's say we have some rules in this rule set. So those rules can use the rules from other rule sets which are defined in the same rules, same application. Okay, that means, so but these 4 and 5, if you look at 4 and 5, so this validation is different. Rule set validation, we'll explain about that later. So now these 3 rule set validation mode is application validation. So if you open this, you will see, right? So that means A rule set can reference all the rules which are defined in the current application or any built-on application, right? So that means, so here we have a PNC loans, PNC production, and PNC loans inter. 3 rule sets are available in the application. What happened? Let me refresh it. So that means, let's say you have a one rule in PNC loans, let's say customer details, okay, section. In a production rule set, you have another rule called customer details 1. So you can call customer details in customer details 1 or vice versa. Okay, let me understand, right? So you can reference a rule from any rule set in the current application, which are application validations, not the rule set validation. So we have 5 rule sets out of 5. The first 3 rule sets are belongs to application validation. That means, let's say in the PNC production we have a rule. That rule can reference all the rules from either PNC loans or PNC loans Inc. So, and built on application also. Let's say the application is built on some other application, and in that application we have some other rule sets, right? So these rules can reference, means can use those rules, because it's like again parent and child. Okay, so if the validation is rule set validation, so it is not like that. So if you want to reference a rule into that rule set, and those rules must be defined as a prerequisites. I will show you that. So you need to explore the PDN, so where you will have a lot of information about rule sets. Let me open here. Okay, so let's say the rule set is, so we have a PNC organization, right? PNC rule set, and we cannot reference any rules from PNC prod or PNC loans or PNC loans Inc. So I invoked some rule from different rule set. Let's say PNC loans, that PNC loans must be defined as a prerequisite. Or let's say you are referring some rule from organization integration rule set, that is PNC Inc. So you need to define this rule set as a prerequisite, so that the PNC can use the rules from PNC Int when you define as a prerequisite. Okay, so this is like so when you in the design time validation, like when you try to save it, and if you do not have any prerequisite, it will immediately throw an error. Okay, so now for example, if it is application validation, so you are referencing a rule from built on application and it is there in the current system, but when you promote it to the different environment, so where if you do not see the built on application, for example, so in that case it will throw warning errors. Okay, so let me open the organization rule set. So this validation is rule set validation, and if you want to see, by default PNC int is defined as a prerequisites, required rule sets and versions. So but if you look at PNC loans, you don't see like this, right? Because it is a rule set validation. And if it is defined 010101, but if you have a rule in 02, so you need to modify here, otherwise it will not take. Okay, so this is about rule set validation. You must need to define rule set as a prerequisite if you are using any rules from that. Okay, so it is there in the interview questions document, you can refer that. Okay, so these are about the rule sets. Okay, so you need to create multiple rule sets and rule set versions, and you try create the rules and execute how it is picking the rules. Okay, so now so the rules is based on this rule set stack, right? Hmm? Let's say you have a rule in PNC prod and PNC loans int. Okay, so you have a rule in the PNC loans as well as in PNC production. So which one will be taken? Always PNC prod. Okay, because it is there in yeah, the rule set stack, it is available on top, right? So that will have. So your personal rule set always will be available on top. Okay, so you have a rule in the production and your private edit, right? In the personal rule set. So personal rule set rule will be taken. Okay, so this is about rule sets. Now let's come to the leave request application. So I explained one or two screens, right? So you need to, so when you select the employee number from the autocomplete field, it has to display all the corresponding employee name, designation, everything. And when you click on submit, in the next screen, you need to show all these details, like number of medical leaves, personal leaves, and you need to put from date to date, and based on that it will calculate number of days. Okay, this is already explained. And now, so once second screen is submitted, after selecting number of leaves, an email needs to be triggered to the supervisor, and he needs to approve the request. Supervisor will not be part of. Okay, you just forget about this point. This is not required. Okay, so you just notify the manager saying that, like, so please approve the request. So you need to send an email, and so once it goes to the manager, either manager can reject or approve. If the request is rejected, the request is sent back to the user who initiated the request. So you need to route back to the previous screen. So you need to handle that. Okay, if the request is approved, then the corresponding leave information is updated to the employee information database. So let's say you have 10 leaves, 5 medical leaves and 5 leaves, right? So if you apply medical leaves and approved, those leaves should be directed from the database from medical leave list, not from leave or any type of other leave. Okay, so if the leave type is medical, additional approval is required from the HR team after the supervisor has approved it. So the same way how we manage manager approvals and loan officer approvals. If it is the medical type, then only you are sending it to the HR also, and at any point of time, the user who works on the case must be able to see all the information that was shown as part of we're reading as part of the initial 2 screens. Okay, so you can put all those information in some read-only section, and that you can include it, or you can put as a local action. So whenever user want to see all the previous information in the read-only format, that can be seen. Okay, so you can try that. That's it. Okay, the integration part is not yet covered, so you cannot implement it. So you just handle the routing part, the email notification, and how you update from the backend. So that is challenging. Okay, so when you apply, when you select other leave other than medical, like let's say casual leaves or unleaves, so those should be deducted from only those balance in the database. Okay, and total leaves also should be deducted, so you need to handle that part. Okay, try to implement that these other functionalities. So if you have any help, like you can ping. Okay, any questions? So in the next week, I will take at least 2 classes for interview questions discussion. So we'll revise, from all the previous concepts. Yeah. So that's it for today. We'll connect back on Monday. So I think we can complete the course in 2 weeks or max 2.5 weeks. Okay. So we'll work on agents on Monday. So the coming topics are very important. So without the interview questions from those topics will not. So if you go for any interviews, they will ask. Okay. So we'll work on agents on Monday, and then integrations, then case management. Okay. That's it. Yeah. Thanks for joining. We'll connect back on Monday.
Thanks, Seth.